Hello, welcome back to my channel. Hoy vamos a ver los temidos Phrasal Verbs. Y como sé que a veces es un poco difícil acordarse de lo que significa cada uno de los Phrasal Verbs, te lo he puesto un poquito más fácil. Vamos a verlos en contexto y a través de un ejercicio de listening. Voy a representar 3 situaciones que ocurren en el trabajo. Y vas a tener que estar atento para ver si identificas qué Phrasal Verbs uso en cada una de estas situaciones. A ver si los puedes encontrar todos. Como siempre, he creado un PDF recopilando todo lo que vamos a ver en este vídeo, así como su traducción al español. Para acceder al PDF, lo único que tienes que hacer es suscribirte a mi lista de mails, dándole clic al link aquí abajo en la descripción del vídeo, poniendo tu correo electrónico y recibirás tanto este PDF como los futuros PDFs que vaya creando en los próximos vídeos. My name is Kay Maudsley. I am a lawyer working at a pharmaceutical company and I am certified by Cambridge to teach English to adults. In this channel, we talk about how to improve your business English to sound more professional and feel more confident when using English at work. So, without further ado, let's dive in. Vamos con la situación número 1. Esto es un manager o un jefe de equipo que nos explica qué tenemos que hacer como equipo para mejorar nuestras campañas de marketing. Lo vamos a ver 2 veces. La primera vez será únicamente el listening y la segunda vez verás también el escrito en la pantalla. Estate atento a los phrasal verbs que uso. Venga, pues vamos allá. In today's meeting, we need to come up with innovative ideas for our next campaign. We've been falling behind our competitors and it's time to catch up. We'll start off by brainstorming new ideas and then we can narrow down the proposals. Finally, we'll decide on the most promising ideas to roll out in the next quarter. Let's do it again. In today's meeting, we need to come up with innovative ideas for our next campaign. We've been falling behind our competitors and it's time to catch up. We'll start off by brainstorming new ideas and then we can narrow down the proposals. Finally, we'll decide on the most promising ideas to roll out in the next quarter. Pues vamos a ver la frase número 1. In today's meeting, we need to come up with innovative ideas for our next campaign. En esta frase hay un phrasal verb. ¿Sabes cuál es? El phrasal verb is to come up with. This phrasal verb means to suggest or to think of an idea or a plan. For example, she came up with an idea to improve team collaboration. Se le ocurrió una idea para mejorar la colaboración en equipo. In Spanish, to come up with something means ocurrirse algo. But it also has another meaning. To come up with something can also mean conseguir algo. Let's see an example. You need to come up with enough funding to support your department's initiatives. Tienes que conseguir suficientes fondos para las iniciativas de tu departamento. So the sentence, in today's meeting, we need to come up with innovative ideas for our next campaign, in Spanish would be, en la reunión de hoy tenemos que proponer o pensar en ideas innovadoras para nuestra próxima campaña. Let's move on to sentence number 2 y estate atento a los phrasal verbs. Aquí hay 2 phrasal verbs. We've been falling behind our competitors and it's time to catch up. We have 2 phrasal verbs here, which are falling behind and to catch up. Let's look into falling behind. Falling behind means to fail to do something fast enough or on time. For example, the deliveries fell behind schedule. Las entregas se retrasaron. In Spanish, to fall behind something or someone means quedarse retrasado, quedarse atrás respecto de algo o alguien. Let's have a look at the second phrasal verb in this sentence, which is to catch up. Now, catch up means 3 different things. In this context, catch up means to reach the same quality or standard as someone or something else. For example, we need to catch up with our counterparts in the US. Tenemos que ponernos a la altura de nuestros homólogos en Estados Unidos. So in this case, to catch up in Spanish would be ponerse a la altura o ponerse al nivel de alguien o de algo. But if I say, she was walking so fast that I couldn't catch up with her. What does that mean? That has a different meaning. In Spanish, the sentence would be, caminaba tan rápido que no la pude alcanzar. So in this case, catch up means to reach someone in front of you by going faster than them. And to catch up also has a different meaning, which is to do something you didn't have time to do earlier. So an example would be, you'll have a chance to talk and catch up. And in Spanish, this means tendréis la oportunidad de hablar y poneros al día. So to catch up in this context means ponerse al día. So the sentence that we've just seen, which is, we've been falling behind our competitors and it's time to catch up, in Spanish would be, nos hemos quedado atrás de nuestros competidores y es hora de ponerse a su altura. Sentence number 3 says, we'll start off by brainstorming new ideas and then we can narrow down the proposals. Now we have 2 phrasal verbs in this sentence. The first one is start off, to start off, and the second one is narrow down, to narrow down. Let's start with start off. To start off means to start or cause something to start in a specified way. For example, we'll start off with a round of introductions. Empezaremos con una ronda de presentaciones. Y aquí hago una nota. Cuando usamos start off con este significado, es decir, con el significado de empezar algo, to start off, el phrasal verb start off siempre irá seguido de un complemento que puede ser by, with or for. Por ejemplo, we'll start off by introducing ourselves, or we'll start off with a round of introductions. O podríamos decir, we'll start off for home, hacia casa. Let's look into the next phrasal verb, to narrow down the proposals. To narrow down. To narrow down means to make a number of things or a list of things smaller by removing those things that are least important or necessary or suitable. In Spanish would be reducir. For example, she narrowed down the list of applicants to 4. She narrowed down the list of applicants to 4. Redujo la lista de solicitantes o de aplicantes a 4. Sentence number 4. Finally, we'll decide on the most promising ideas to roll out in the next quarter. I'll give you a clue. There's only one phrasal verb in this sentence. ¿Sabes cuál es? El phrasal verb is to roll out. Don't get confused by the verb decide, which is also in the sentence, followed by the preposition on. Decide on, will decide on. This is not a phrasal verb. The verb decide, when it's followed by the preposition on, means the same, keeps the same meaning. So the phrasal verb to roll out means to make a product or a service or a system available for the first time. Let's have a look at a sentence. The company is due to roll out its latest product in May. La compañía tiene previsto sacar su último producto en mayo. So to roll out in Spanish would be sacar o lanzar. But roll something out has 2 other meanings that are a little bit more obvious. To roll something out can mean to make something flat, which would be aplanar algo con un rodillo, por ejemplo. We need to roll out the pastry first, for example. And to roll something out can also mean desenrollar algo. We rolled the carpet out yesterday. Desenrollamos la alfombra ayer. So the sentence will finally decide on the most promising ideas to roll out in the next quarter. In Spanish would be finalmente. Decidiremos cuáles son las ideas más prometedoras para implementarlas en el siguiente trimestre. Venga, pues vamos a ver la siguiente situación. Aquí una persona en el trabajo nos explica que tiene que organizar un evento con su equipo de manera colaborativa. Vamos a escucharla. Before wrapping up the meeting, the manager reminded us about the big event we had to organize by the end of the month. We scheduled a follow-up meeting to touch base on our progress. We all knew it was very important for everyone to chip in with their ideas to ensure collaboration, so it was a very productive meeting. In the end, the event turned out to be a great success, and we achieved all our set goals. Vamos a escucharlo otra vez, esta vez con el texto en pantalla, a ver si identificas los phrasal verbs. Before wrapping up the meeting, the manager reminded us about the big event we had to organize by the end of the month. we scheduled a follow-up meeting to touch base on our progress. We all knew it was very important for everyone to chip in with their ideas to ensure collaboration, so it was a very productive meeting. In the end, the event turned out to be a great success, and we achieved all our set goals. Okay, let's break down the explanation into smaller sentences. The first sentence says, before wrapping up the meeting, the manager reminded us about the big event we had to organize by the end of the month. ¿Sabes cuál es el phrasal verb de esta frase? Hay uno solo. Y el phrasal verb is wrapping up, to wrap up, before wrapping up the meeting. To wrap up means to complete something successfully. So an example would be, the meetings should be wrapped up by Thursday. Las reuniones deberían concluir para jueves. So in this case, wrap up means concluir in Spanish. But wrap up has other meanings. For example, if we say to wrap something up, then it means to cover something with paper, cloth, or with another material. And an example would be, I've just finished wrapping up Mark's present. Acabo de terminar de envolver el regalo de Mark. So in this last context, to wrap something up means envolver. And to wrap someone up means abrigarle, to put some warm clothes on, abrigarle, to wrap someone up. The second sentence is, we scheduled a follow-up meeting to touch base on our progress. We have only one phrasal verb in this sentence. Do you know which one it is? The phrasal verb here is to touch base. To touch base on our progress. Don't get confused by the follow-up meeting. The sentence says we schedule a follow-up meeting. Follow-up in this case is not a verb, it's actually an adjective. And we can easily identify this because we can see a hyphen, un guión, between follow and up. When follow-up has an hyphen, that means it's not a verb. It's either a noun or an adjective. And this happens with some other verbs that can become nouns or adjectives. In any case, the verb won't have an hyphen between the two words. So to touch base means to talk to someone for a short time to find out how they are or what they think about something. For example, we should touch base on this topic before the end of the week. And in Spanish, it means ponerse en contacto o comentar. The next sentence is, we all knew it was important for everyone to chip in with their ideas to ensure collaboration. So it was a very productive meeting. And we have one phrasal verb here, which is to chip in, to chip in. To chip in means to interrupt a conversation in order to say something. For example, please chip in if I've forgotten to mention anything. Por favor, interrumpidme si me he olvidado algo. But chip in can also mean to give some money when several people are giving money in order to pay for something together. For example, has everyone chipped in for the present? ¿Habéis contribuido todos para el regalo? And the last sentence in this situation says, in the end, the event turned out to be a great success, and we achieved all our set goals. We have one phrasal verb here, and the phrasal verb is to turn out. To turn out. The event turned out to be a great success. To turn out means to happen in a particular way or to have a particular result, especially an unexpected one. For example, the dinner turned out to be far more relaxed than I expected. La cena fue mucho más relajada de lo que esperaba. But to turn out can also mean two other things. It can mean to be known or discovered finally or surprisingly. For example, he turned out to be a friend of my brother. Resultó ser amigo de mi hermano. And to turn out can also mean to go somewhere, to be there, or to watch. For example, the whole department turned out to welcome us. El departamento entero acudió a darnos la bienvenida. Vale, pues vamos a la situación número 3. Vamos a escuchar y a ver si sabes cuáles son los phrasal verbs que se usan. Vamos a ver cómo el manager o jefe del equipo nos explica qué tenemos que hacer para preparar una nueva campaña. Escucha atento y mira a ver si encuentras los phrasal verbs, porque hay muchos aquí. This week, our team is gearing up for the new sales campaign. Everyone should come prepared to throw in their creative suggestions. Once we pin down the key strategies, we'll reach out to potential partners to start building collaborations. Our goal is to put together a campaign that really stands out. Vamos a escucharlo otra vez, esta vez con la letra en la pantalla. This week, our team is gearing up for the new sales campaign. Everyone should come prepared to throw in their creative suggestions. Once we pin down the key strategies, we'll reach out to potential partners to start building collaborations. Our goal is to put together a campaign that really stands out. Now let's break down this text into smaller sentences. Sentence number 1 says, this week the team is gearing up for the new sales campaign. And we have one phrasal verb here. Do you know which phrasal verb it is? The phrasal verb is to gear up. The team is gearing up. To gear up means to prepare for an activity or an event. For example, the company is gearing up for the launch of its new product line. La empresa se está preparando para el lanzamiento de su nueva línea de productos. So in Spanish, to gear up means prepararse para algo o prepararse para hacer algo. And the sentence, this week our team is gearing up for the new sales campaign. In Spanish, this means, esta semana nuestro equipo se está preparando para la nueva campaña de ventas. Sentence number 2. Everyone should come prepared to throw in their creative suggestions. There is one phrasal verb in this sentence, and the phrasal verb is to throw in. Everyone should come prepared to throw in their creative suggestions. To throw in means to add something or to make a remark casually in a conversation. For example, he threw in a suggestion to improve team collaboration. Añadió una propuesta para mejorar el trabajo en equipo. So the sentence, everyone should come prepared to throw in their creative suggestions, in Spanish means, debéis venir todos preparados para ofrecer o aportar vuestras sugerencias creativas. Sentence number 3, once we pin down the key strategies, we'll reach out to potential partners to start building collaboration. We have two phrasal verbs in this sentence. ¿Sabes cuáles son? La primera es to pin something down. Once we pin down the key strategies, to pin something down. And the second one is to reach out to someone, in this case to potential partners, to reach out. Let's look into the phrasal verb to pin down. To pin something down means to discover the exact details of something. For example, the doctors haven't been able to pin down the cause of his illness. Los médicos no han podido detallar o concretar la causa de su enfermedad. In Spanish, to pin something down can mean concretar o precisar algo. And the phrasal verb to reach out to someone means to communicate with someone, especially by using a phone or sending an email. For example, thank you for reaching out. Gracias por contactar conmigo. In Spanish, to reach out means contactar o comunicarse. But to reach out to someone also means to offer your support, to make an effort to communicate to someone, to offer your help or support, to reach out to someone. So the sentence, once we pin down the key strategies, we'll reach out to potential partners to start building collaborations. In Spanish means, una vez que definamos las estrategias clave, contactaremos con socios potenciales para comenzar a construir colaboraciones. Let's have a look at the last sentence, and this one has two phrasal verbs. Our goal is to put together a campaign that really stands out. We have two phrasal verbs. The first one is to put together, and the second one is stand out, to stand out. To put together means to prepare a piece of work by collecting several ideas and organizing them. She was crucial in putting the proposal together. fue crucial para la preparación de la propuesta. Put together in Spanish would be preparar o hacer algo, generar algo. And the last phrasal verb is to stand out. To stand out means to be much better than other similar things or people. For example, his unique approach makes him stand out at work. Su enfoque único le hace resaltar en el trabajo. Stand out in Spanish would be resaltar. So the sentence, our goal is to put together a campaign that really stands out, in Spanish means nuestro objetivo es preparar una campaña que realmente destaque. Pues espero que te hayas entretenido un rato y que hayas aprendido mucho con este vídeo y nos vemos en el siguiente vídeo. Bye!